What is raindrop technique? Raindrop technique is simply a sequence of anointing with oils and laying on of hands to provide electrical and structural alignment to the body through an invigorating and relaxing manner with the power of pure essential oils. We begin by balancing the body with Valor. The way we do that is to put 6 drops of Valor, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the palm and apply them to the base of the feet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cross our arms and hold the bottom of the feet like this, and then wait until we feel a shift in the body. And then we know that we're balanced. And this could take a couple seconds, this could take a couple minutes, depending on the person. And the way to feel the shift in the body is sometimes you'll feel a difference in temperature in the palms of your hands. Maybe you'll feel a pulsation. And when you feel it in both hands, whether it's pulsation or a temperature shift is the same, then you know that you're balanced. And now she's balanced. After balancing the body, then what we do, the next technique is called VitaFlex. And VitaFlex is applied to the feet, and VitaFlex is a Tibetan technique known as vitality through the reflexes. What we are working on is the spinal points on the bottom of the feet to stimulate the spine and get the body ready for the rest of the oils that we apply later in the back. The way that we do this is starting with our very first oil. We use a series of 9 different specific oils. The very first one we use is oil. After balancing, put 3 drops in the hand. Then what we do is we just rotate 3 times in a clockwise position to energize the oils. Then what we do is this is the hand that's called the well, this is the hand where we apply it. We lift up and support the ankle, and then what we do is we just start around here, and we're going to work this whole area right here, which is the spinal reflex point on the foot. And what we're going to do is just apply a very, very light pressure all the way up the spine point, all the way up to the tip of the toe. 1, 2, 3, and we're done. And that is done 3 times with that particular oil. Then we do the same sequence on the same foot with the remaining 8 oils. After we have finished with the very last oil doing the VitaFlex on this foot, then what we do is we simply go over to the next foot and begin with the very first oil. Then we begin on the back. Before we start applying the essential oils to the back, what I do is apply a little bit of V6 or an olive oil to this neck area. The reason is because as we apply oils, we're going to start moving them all the way up here, and sometimes they pool in this area and someone might get a little sensitive. Now, for the sake of travel, I always just put my V6 in a small bottle like this. I just label it so I have it. Put a couple drops on my fingertips, and I just rub right here. And of course, during the raindrop technique, I'll ask how she's feeling, and if she feels like a little sensitive or warm in this area, well then what I will do is just add a little bit more V6. This is known as the 3-6-12 feathering technique. You take your essential oil and you drop it about 12 inches above the body. The technique that we use now is called the 3-6-12 feathering technique. And it's called feathering because we are lightly touching with our fingernails. It's supposed to feel as light as a feather. And we start with just 3-inch overlap strokes up the spine, all the way up to the neck. Now that the last oil has been applied, then what we do is put a hot towel on her back to allow those essential oils to bake. And we take a regular towel, put it over, and then we take a nice towel that's been rolled up and put in hot water to create some heat on the back. Then after this hot towel is laid down, then what we do is we pull this towel over the top here, put it over here to keep that warmth in. Pull our towel over the top of her. And we allow her to relax for about 10 to 15 minutes. As soon as she knows that, as soon as it feels like it's cooling down, what we want to do is pull that hot towel off because we don't want her to chill.
Prior to this technique, I felt very stressed and tight, and afterwards, using the oils, I could definitely tell that there was a difference in the way I felt compared to other techniques I've experienced in the past. I felt very stimulated and relaxed and not overly oily, and I felt really good afterwards.